Hi guys, Bass Boy here, and today we're doing the Ned rig. What is the Ned rig? The Ned rig is generally a worm with a weight on the bottom and a hook towards the top. And you just hit it on the bottom and gently bounce it so it dances. So, let's get to it. You're going to need for this project our worm. Now I have two worms, a smaller one and a bigger one, both in watermelon color, or watermelon seed, however you pronounce that. But for that, it doesn't really matter because we're just showing you how to do it. Now when you're actually on the creek, the pond, or the stream, that will matter a little more. You'll also need a screw. I, of course, just picked a basic screw. I don't know what it is. It just weighs a little bit. Of course, hook varieties. You can do a weedless hook. You can do a circle hook. Or you can do an aught hook. That's about 4 or 5 aught. So, now, let's build it. So, the construction of the Ned rig. First, I'm going to use the long one for this. What you're going to do is, as you can see, there's a pointier end and there's a dull end. You're going to take the fat end. Take your screw by the pointy part, take the fat end, and drill it in. It's going to look like that. Now, of course, this will fall off. So what you're going to need is just drill it in a little deeper. It'll provide a nice amount of weight on there, so you can. It depends on what weather you're fishing. If it's really like currenty, then you'll want a longer weight, meaning it's going to be heavier. But for this, I just need a little light weight to get to the bottom. Nothing fancy. Although it is 24 karat gold. So, I mean, it is kind of fancy. So after you get it in decent, you can either just keep going so it's the head's under there, or just leave it on the top. I don't really mind which, but for this, I'm just going to put it kind of right there on the skin. Now what you're going to do, you have two things. You see where there's rivets on here, where it's kind of liney, and then there's the smooth part where there are no rivets. You're going to see the rivet part right here, and you're going to go about an inch up. So now it's going to be right about here on the worm. Then you're gonna take whichever hook you want. Now, let's say there's a lot of weeds. I'm gonna take my weedless hook and put it literally just through the bait. So, right there, straight through. And now it's gonna look like that. So you can pull it. So what it's gonna look like is you're gonna pull it across just like that. And then when you let it sink, it'll just come up like that. Now let's try it with some other hooks. Now the circle hook. Again, about 2.5 inches from the clear part. Hook it straight through. And like that. This one's a little smaller, so maybe if you're going for smallmouth or something. And finally, the 4/0 hook. Alright, let's put this little dude in. So yeah, that guy is kind of a little too big for this, but yes, will look fine when we actually do this. So this is a good rig, especially for weeds and around that area if you're just trying to hit the bottom. Now some other things you can do are you can carry, if you don't have any bullet sinkers like these, you can always just take it and try and just rig it like that. Carolina rig it so you have a weight on the front. So those are some other things you can do with this. If you like this video, be sure to go check out the others and subscribe and leave a like to the channel. See you next video, guys.